Welcome to Honeybee, real stories of love, lies, and betrayal, where every truth stings. Let's begin. My name's Willie, and let me tell you, life has a strange way of flipping the script. 2 years ago, I was that guy who got dumped because I wasn't good enough. Back then, it felt like my entire world had crumbled. But today, the very person who walked away is now losing her mind watching me succeed. It's crazy how things turn around. Before I dive in, do me one quick favor. Hit that like button. You'll want to hear this story. Because if you've ever been rejected, told you weren't enough, or replaced for something better, this one's for you. Let's rewind to the beginning. The first time I saw Marilyn is still crystal clear in my memory. Back then, she was more than just special. She was perfect to me. From our very first conversation, everything clicked. We could talk for hours without it feeling forced or awkward. You know that rare feeling when someone just gets you? That was Marilyn. She made me laugh in a way no one else could. I told her about my dreams, my struggles, even my fears, and she actually listened. At least I thought she did. We dreamed about our future together, the places we'd travel, the goals we'd chase. We did everything as a team, not just because we loved spending time together, but because it gave us an excuse to stay close. I didn't have much money, but I gave her all I had, and for a while, I believed that was enough. Looking back now, I see how blind I was. But back then, I was just a man in love, convinced that we could face anything together. I couldn't have been more wrong. A year into our relationship, Marilyn invited me to have dinner with her family. I was excited, thinking it was a big step forward. Proof we were getting serious. I imagined her parents wanted to know the man their daughter loved. I couldn't have been more naive. The moment I walked into their home, the energy shifted. No one was openly rude, but I could feel the judgment. Her father barely looked at me. Her mother smiled, but it didn't reach her eyes. Even her brother's greeting felt forced. It was like walking into a room where everyone had already decided who you were, and it wasn't good. Dinner was tense. I tried to be polite, tried to engage, but the conversation stayed surface level, like they were filtering every word. They weren't interested in what I had to say. Her father gave the occasional nod, her mother polite but distant. Their body language said it all. I wasn't what they wanted from Marilyn. Then came the moment of truth. After dinner, her parents pulled me aside. Her father asked, calmly but with weight, "So, Willie, what are your plans for our daughter?" Without hesitation, I told him, "I plan to marry her, sir." I meant every word. I thought my honesty would earn respect. Instead, they just smiled, not warmly, but with the kind of smile you get when you already know something the other person doesn't. I didn't realize at the time, but in their minds, I'd already failed whatever test they were giving me. Things changed after that night. Marilyn, who once lit up when I called, started acting like hearing from me was a chore. My messages sat unread for hours, sometimes a whole day. When we did talk, she seemed distracted, uninterested, like she had somewhere better to be. The warmth and playfulness were gone. Soon, she stopped answering altogether. Calls in the morning, afternoon, and night, all ignored. When I finally asked what was going on, her only response was, "I've been busy." This from the same woman who used to get upset if I didn't reply right away. She stopped making time for me. Cancel plans. No more random calls just to say she missed me. It felt like I was chasing someone who didn't want to be caught. Then one evening, she asked to meet. I thought, finally we can talk this through. I was wrong. She looked me in the eye and said, "Willie, my family doesn't approve of us. They think I should be with someone more stable, someone who can give me a better life." For a second, I couldn't even process it. I waited for her to say, "But I don't care what they think. I love you." But those words never came. When I asked if she even loved me, she hesitated. That pause told me everything. I should have walked away right then. But instead, I begged. I reminded her of everything we dreamed of, told her I was working hard, and things wouldn't always be this way. I asked her to believe in me. She didn't. She left. Just like that. And I realized I was the only one who had ever truly believed in U.S. The days after she left were brutal. She wasn't just my girlfriend. She was the one constant in my unstable life. Losing her because I wasn't good enough for a family was a wound deeper than I could describe. I couldn't eat. I couldn't sleep. I replayed everything in my head, wondering if more money, nicer clothes, or different words could have made her stay. I was broken, but a few weeks later, something in me shifted. I was done being the guy people pitied. I stopped waiting for someone to save me and started focusing on what I could control: my time, my effort, my grind. I threw myself into my work, learning, improving, hustling for every dollar. It wasn't easy, but every setback became fuel. And through it all, one person stayed by my side, Diana. Funny thing is, she had been Marilyn's friend first. But unlike Marilyn, she never looked down on me. She checked in, encouraged me, and reminded me I wasn't alone. At first, I didn't notice what was in front of me. I was too stuck in my pain. But Diana just saw me, accepted me, loved me for who I was, not for what I could give. 2 years later, I'd rebuilt my life from the ground up. My business thrived, my finances stabilized, and for the first time, I felt in control. More importantly, I was happy, and Diana was a big reason why. Then, out of nowhere, my phone rang. The voice on the other end? Marilyn. She said she wanted to apologize. But as she talked, her real reason became clear. The man her family picked turned out to be controlling, manipulative, and unfaithful. 2 years later, she was thinking of leaving him. I listened but felt nothing. The Marilyn I loved was gone. She said, "We were meant to be, Willie." I told her calmly, "I'm with someone now. She means the world to me." She went silent. I think she thought I'd welcome her back. But I wasn't that man anymore. A few days later, Diana told me Marilyn had called her, claiming we were meant to be and that Diana was in the way. That was it for me. I called Marilyn and made it clear she had no place in my life anymore. After everything, I realized the lessons were worth more than the pain.